I'm here on a beautiful Wednesday night, September the 12th, bringing you the second VFL podcast. What a great opening week we had here in the VFL and in the NFL season. A lot of close games, a lot of down to the wire, down to Monday night game situations we had. Uh, I'd like to start off with addressing the commission's earlier email during the week saying that he was going to retire from fantasy sports. A lot of you guys know me, know my past history in fantasy, and everyone knows it hasn't been an easy run for the commission. I have come off the ledge from Monday night, so I am thinking a little bit more clearly today. But as of right now, I'm still leaning towards the retirement after the season. Yes, that's right, retiring from fantasy sports after the season. I just can't deal with the 1 point losses, the injuries. It's just things are piling up on the commission, and he's having issues dealing with it. So as of now, the commission is leaning towards retirement. I will still run the league. I still have my 2 leagues, but I'll just be nice and peaceful and watching it from the sidelines. But enough about that. Let's get on to week 1 and the VFL, and that's why we're here. We had, in my opinion, maybe the best opening week we've had in the history of the VFL. A lot of games came down to the wire. A lot of games were decided by less than 10 points. A few games by less than a point. You know. Let's start off with the commission's game. First, top and balls. Was a very exciting Monday night thriller. Came down to Baltimore and Cincinnati. Of course, the commission came out on the wrong side like always. Didn't help that Fred Jackson only had a few carries and 15 yards before he got hurt. Good news is Fred Jackson is only going to miss a few weeks. To anyone who saw the play or was down at the bar with us, thought it was an instant season-ending injury. So it's good news for the commission and Fred Jackson. They'll only miss a few weeks, quote-unquote, a few weeks. Who knows? But, you know, in the game, Cotton Balls was down 15. Torrey Smith came out of the gate firing with a 52-yard bomb. But after that, he was pretty much no-show. And A.J. Green and the Walker chipped away at the commission's lead, finally pushing his way through it to the 4th quarter. And that was pretty much it, considering Baltimore jumped out to such a big lead and set Torrey Smith the rest of the game. So it was a tough way to start off the season for the commission, losing by 0.8 to the Cotton Balls. But the commission's going to keep its head high. It's a long season. And we'll keep moving forward. Going on to the next game was the Mouth Smashers versus Hey Bozo. Mouth Smashers came out, had a nice early start with Foster and Vic in the 1 o'clock games. Quieted down a little bit, but was enough to hold on. Matt Ryan was the big difference. Probably in this game with a 16-point day by a kicker, which is you don't see very often. And put Mouth Smashers ahead of Hey Bozo, who starts off the season 0-1, probably the first time in VFL history. I can't remember them ever losing the first week, but hey, so they were ranked 11th. In the third game, we had the Bolts versus It's So Easy. Another very close game. The Bolts, who were ranked 12th, came out with a little bit of chip on their shoulders. Griffin the third came out pretty hot, unexpectedly. Maybe had a few extra footlongs that day and gave him a little bit more juice. But 25.2 day for Robert Griffin the third in only his first ever NFL game is a very impressive feat. So it was a nice win for the Bolts. A tough one for Suisse. Anytime you drop over 100, you want to win. Well, 4.2, you're usually going to win, but not this week. Not when you're playing the Bolts, I guess. But great win for JLL. He'll move up in the power poll, so he'll stop sending the death threats, hopefully, and let's see what happens from there. Next game was Zisha Pep's first pumping pass, and this was another throw that came down to the final game of the day. Pumping pass, pull out a .7 victory, holding off Philip Rivers just enough to get him the W. But it's a nice way to start the season. The pumping pass, 93.8 is a pretty good score to get a victory. Anytime you win under 100, it's a nice victory for you. Next game was probably the game of the week. It was 46-2, taking on the anger management. Almost started off on Thursday night with a huge 26.2. Looked really good. Followed up by Des Bryant with a decent night with 8.5. But the big difference was Sean Green and Calvin Johnson and Hernandez all getting over 12 plus points. Sean Green with a big 15, giving 46-2 victory. The good thing for anger management is AP looks amazing out there. Came back, didn't miss a beat. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the starting lineup, but he really didn't lose much to Kevin Smith, who actually outplayed Peterson. And you can't really expect Richie to bench John Ford. So, Richie, good things are looking good for Richie. You gotta expect Wes Lofton to mellow more than 1.4 in the future. I mean, of course, Saul looked great. Hopefully, he gets back on the field. That might have cost him a victory this week. But great game. Both teams look pretty solid, and have a lot of upside for both these teams. Our final game was Italian Sausage versus my number one ranked team, Team Hayes. Sausage came out looking good. They look like the team to beat right now with the highest point total for the week. Matt Ryan looks sensational. He led all quarterbacks this week with 31.5 points. Forte looked really good. The one guy that I would be a little worried about is Chris Johnson. I mean, he did not look good. Only 4 rushing yards. That cannot happen if this team wants to compete. Big right side was his receiving core, all over 10. Andre Johnson looked amazing. Yes, they did play Miami, but he was playing well. He did make some big plays against one of the best cover corners in the league. So if Johnson can stay healthy and provide, this team is going to be very dangerous. Hayes, on the other hand, not exactly a big week, just a little bit under 100. Cam Newton, 17.4. Not a bad week, but I'm sure Hayes is expecting a little bit more from him. Lynch came out with almost 10 points, pretty good day. He didn't get in the end zone. That's pretty much what cost him the week. Is none of his backs getting in the end zone. But Brendan Marshall did look amazing. They looked good, and the Jets defense looked sharp. So that's week 1 wrap up. Let's go over the week 2 DFL rankings. Right, fellas, this is where I have everyone ranked after just 1 week. And you gotta remember, we're also going about preseason rankings, so teams aren't moving up, moving down too much off 1 week. Coming in at 12 is Team Bozo. They were the 11th ranked coming in. They lost. They had a decent week, but they got pushed down to 12. Coming in at 11, and even though they won the game, I'm not going to move them anywhere, and that's C and B. Still don't love this team. They did get very fortunate to win this week. Anytime you you play against a team that loses their running back in the first quarter, you should win, and they barely did win. So I'm not too high right now on Cotton Bowls. Yes, they are 1-0. Anytime you get one of those nice, easy wins, unexpected wins, it's a good start, but they're not moving up anywhere in my eyes. Number 10 is Richie Kaduch and anger management. A little surprised here that they moved down to 10, even with a good week, but they started out 9, they did lose the game, so I'm going to move them down to 10. Number 9 is Kamish and Team Darth Vader. Um, Unfortunate for the Kamish losing Fred Jackson early. That doesn't help. But he will move down a couple spots. He's going to have to fill that Fred Jackson spot, which is not going to be easy. So we'll see. Number 8 is the Catman himself, the Lightning Bolts. He will move up 4 spots to that 8th spot with a very good week. So he's in striking range right now. So let's go on from there. Number 6 is the Italian Sausage. Had a pretty solid week. Moved up into that top 6 ranking. Number 5 is It's So Easy and Joey. Number 4 is Team Hayes. Number 3 is Chris and the Mouse Smashers. Number 2 is 46 and 2. And the number 1 team in the PFL second week is Pass and Puff. So there you have it, folks. That's your wrap up of the top 12. And let's go to our weekly guest of the week. We have Kevin D'Angelo on the phone. Kevin, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Vic, what's up, buddy?
Well, how are we doing tonight, Mr. D'Angelo?
A little bit of confusion, a lot of other things. I don't know.
Well, it seems like a little personal issue, but hopefully we can put that aside for a few minutes and talk some Vegas.
Absolutely.
So, how you feeling after the first week of fantasy this week?
Well, I mean, it's going to show you how much you can study and read things and follow people on Twitter, and it can still be pretty much unpredictable as possible. So far, so good. Not too much disappointment, but again, that's why I guess played.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more about that. I mean, you come into week 1 thinking everyone was drafted and there's no one left to pick. And then you got guys dropping 20, 15, 10. These guys never even heard of. So it's amazing sometimes.
And then you get guys with primetime matchups and, injuries, and they can step up and they get, like, D'Angelo Williams gets, like, a 1.
Yeah. And Chris Johnson with a 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, he's a clown.
Yeah, he is clown. But it's just amazing how the world works out. I was looking over your matchup. I mean, you played the Mouse Smashers. You didn't have a bad week. 97.6 is respectable. Most weeks you'll probably win with that score, but